It is Wednesday, June 8th, 2022 at 5:30 PM. This is the monthly meeting of the Urbana Human Relations Commission. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Stacy Burnett,
Present.
Asako Kanazi Leggett,
Present.
Peter Resnick,
Here.
Julie Robinson Schaefer,
Here.
Greg Schroeder.
Here.
All right, everybody present and accounted for, and we have a quorum. We have an agenda before us. Do I hear a motion to approve? So, all right, so we have a motion from Stacy, a second by Asako. Any discussion of the agenda, any additions, changes? All right. All those in favor of the agenda, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, say no. That motion passes. The agenda is approved. We have two sets of minutes this month. We have the April 13th minutes, which were our regular April meeting, and then we had that special session to do some workforce approvals in the interim. Do I have a motion to approve either or both sets of minutes?
I'll move to approve both.
All right.
Second.
So that's a motion by Julie, a second by Greg. Any discussion, any changes to the minutes? I had one question, Tamara. It said that I said the elections were going to be in July. Did I actually say that? Which is entirely possible?
I believe so.
Okay, we'll leave them in the minutes as
Um,
stated, because I, of course, went back and looked, and the procedure is that we do the elections in June, which is this month, but the
I
person takes
remember
office in July.
hearing July, but
And
I can.
I'm perfectly happy to have the minutes repeat my mistaken impression at the time.
I can go back and watch the video again.
It's no big deal. All right, so we have a motion and a second on the floor. No further discussion. All those in favor of approval, please say aye.
Aye.
Any no? And that motion passes. Public participation, seeing none, we'll move on to unfinished business. We have nothing on the agenda for unfinished business. So we'll move on to new business. And our first item of new business is the EEO workforce statistics. We got a set from Tamara. Anybody have any questions before we entertain a motion? Or we can just go straight to a motion as people see fit. Anybody want to make a motion for particular approvals or such on these? See, this is the problem of leaving me in the chair, is I don't get to make these fun motions anymore. You don't have an extra copy, do you, of the spreadsheet? I can pass mine down if you need. Oh, here.
I apologize.
No.
We used to have a tablet and it no longer functions.
Oh.
I'll be sure to bring extras next time.
And do note that Tamara sent out updates to the two, and the numbers changed on the sheet, particularly on Schaefer Plastic. Yeah. The other one she sent, what was the second one you sent out that was a change?
I believe it was the first one on the list.
Crawford, Murphy, and Tilly. Yeah.
I will make a motion to approve Crawford, Murphy, and Tilly for 2 years, Davis Hook Mechanical for 1 year, Hanson Professional for 6 months, Pole Hire Strategy for 2 years, Rush Truck Center for 1 year, and Schaefer Plastic for 2 years.
All right. Did you get those, Tamara?
Yes.
All right. So we have a motion. Do we have a second?
I second.
Okay. So motion by Greg, second by Stacy. Discussion.
At work, that's what I had.
Any comments, discussion? So the one that, and I'm sorry, what was your recommendation for, your motion for Schaefer Plastic?
Schaefer was 2 years.
Okay, yeah, that's what I expected. I will just say my two comments. Hoke Davis is one of our repeat customers with using union labor. I'm happy to support 1 year, but this is one that doesn't make too much of a difference to me. We've promised for a few months that this year at some point we're going to review how to deal with the union labor issue. But 1 year is fine. That will encourage us, if they come up again for renewal, to go, oh, weren't we supposed to have done that? So that's fine. The only other one that caused me some concern was it Rush? And I think was it Rush? Was that the name? The trucking company. Yeah, Rush Truck Centers. The numbers there seemed abysmal. And, I was almost inclined to ask for more information before we even gave approval. Do you want to talk about,
From my notes on Rush, I saw they're non-union,
right?
10% women, 3% minority. I don't have all the numbers in front of me, but
Well-
based on that,
Yeah. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
I don't recall, is this a repeat that perhaps I saw some improvement from last time?
That's a good question.
I think this was a new one.
I think it's new. I didn't see anything in their turnover numbers. And the numbers they had were 34 employees total, 30 of which were men, 3 of which were women. 31 of which were men, 3 of which were women. And demographically, 30 of the men were white and 1 was Hispanic, and none of the women were. This is in Champaign, and it's a trucking contractor. I thought the numbers were pretty bad. And there wasn't anything in the packet regarding any affirmative action they're trying to take to hire folks. Anybody else have any comments or thoughts on it?
So with the truck center, I saw it's both driving, as well as service, so.
Right, and there wasn't information, do you know offhand, Tamara, what the contract is about? Julie?
Well, I was just going to ask what the process would be for asking for additional information. Do we amend the motion that Greg proposed then and just ask for additional information?
If we wanted to change Greg's motion, you could offer a friendly amendment to change the motion if he accepts, and if Stacy accepts, we could ask for more information that way.
I think there's justification in amending the motion to request additional information and review again next month, unless there is some time-sensitive component that we are unaware of.
And no one has sent up a flag like this must.
I'm not aware of it. I know
Okay.
Carla may have gotten that information, but I don't.
Okay. I will assume it's not an emergency, and we may hear next week that it is, and we'll get back to it. Greg, will you take that as a friendly amendment?
Absolutely.
And Stacy, do you also approve?
Yes, I do.
Okay. So we're going to ask for more information from Rush, but the other 4, and I'm sorry, could you restate the motion, Tamara?
Crawford, Murphy, and Tilly for 2 years. Davis Hoke Mechanical for 1 year. Hanson Professional Services for 6 months. Pole Hire Strategy for 2 years. Rush Trucking with the friendly amendment to ask for more information. And Schaefer Plastic for 2 years.
All right. Any further discussion on that motion? All those in favor, please say aye.
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 Any opposed? So that motion carries. And I'll try and communicate with Carla about sending requests for more information.
Sure, sure.
All right. So that was our first item of new business. Our second item of new business is election of chair and vice chair. So as per our bylaws, June of every year, we're supposed to elect a chair and a vice chair. as I remember, I meant to look up Robert's rules on this. Someone makes, we open nominations, someone makes nominations as they see fit for each position. We'll do two separate sets of nominations. Someone makes a motion to close nominations, and then we vote on, who is available. So, do we have any nominations for chair?
I nominate Stacy Burnett.
We have a nomination for Stacy. Do we have any further nominations or a motion to close the nominations?
I'll nominate to close the nominations,
you
or
move
move
to
to
close.
close the nominations.
All right. So, with no objection to closing the nominations, we have a motion on the floor to have Stacy Burnett as chair of the Human Relations Commission. Do we have any discussion of that motion? And I think we don't have to do a roll call vote. All those in favor of the nomination, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Congratulations, or as we say, congratulations, Stacy. Thank you for stepping up to the task. We now have nominations for vice chair of the commission. Do I hear any nominations? Everybody's chicken. I can't make nominations here. Well, no, you're welcome to. You're already off the hook for vice chair. You've been elected chair, so you can make as many nominations as you like. Do I hear any nominations for vice chair?
I nominate Julie to be vice chair.
Very good. We have a nomination for Julie to be vice chair. Do we have any further nominations or a motion to close the nominations?
I move to close the nominations.
All right. It's the thing where, nobody steps forward, everybody else steps back is the trick. You've been voluntold. All right. With a motion for Julie to be vice chair, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. Congratulations. So, as I've said before, I am happy as anything to help you all out with from the background with any of the duties that you are needing help with. And thank you for being willing to step up. Very good. So with that, you folks will start next month, and I'm glad to work with you until then to get that all up and running. Item 7, officers report. Did Carla send you all the officers report? I got a copy, and let me just, and I can submit it. I should have sent it out for the record so you all could see. And I will just read the few items in her officer's report. She reports 6 closed cases, 5 no probable cause findings, 1 probable cause. 3 of the closed cases have been appealed. I'll mention that in announcements in just a bit. Probable cause cases in the conciliation phase and in the process of scheduling the appeal hearing for the 3 cases. There were 4 informal complaints or issues brought to the office. 1 was an employment issue, spoke via phone, did not have jurisdiction. Caller was referred to the city office with jurisdiction and the Illinois Department of Human Rights. An employment issue, not an unlawful discrimination issue, and referred it to a community resource office. A public business or public accommodation issue, spoke via phone, not an unlawful discrimination issue, referred caller to contact management, not sure what that means. Number 4, referred to the office because it was a non-emergency, non-police issue, followed up with the caller. The caller had not made contact with the appropriate department, and Carla will follow up. No new formal complaints. Community and office activity participated in the New American Welcome Center's Welcome Plan Community of Practice Leadership Team. She is co-facilitating the Citizen and Civic Engagement Team, and they are currently recruiting for each of the 5 teams. She can provide more info. Attended an Executive Women's Club meeting for networking, attended the Urbana Business Network Mixer, connected with the DEI Work Group and Diversity Issue Task Force. She's attending a monthly meeting this month, and we'll get more information. She attended the Women's Legacy Circle reception and presentation as a networking event, and participated in Contractors and Connections Morning Mixer, bringing together MBE, WBE, and general contractors, connected with the Assistant Business Manager Membership Development of IBEW, the local 601, and he introduced her to some of the people that he works with in the school district in Parkland, very interested in partnering to diversify the membership. So that sounds like she's gotten started on some of the union work, which is great to hear. And that's all I've got from her report, and we can ask her further questions, or you can email her if you've got particular questions. All right, and I'll submit that to Tamara for the minutes. So item 8, announcements. So let me mention 2. One is the appeal hearing you heard about. We got contacted about an appeal of a no probable cause finding. So this leads to an informal hearing, and Stacy had volunteered to lead that, and we got it set up. And the complainant in the case asked for additional time to do some more research about it, and I spoke to City Legal. They were perfectly comfortable with us doing that without violating the ordinance, so I agreed to that. So that has been postponed. The complainant has already asked me when would be a good time to further have that hearing. So that should be coming up in the future, but we've got a little reprieve from the 28-day deadline, which would have been next week. Beyond that, we also got a communication, which I think you all saw via email, about a discrimination report regarding city practices and appointments to the CPRB. So this is under the new Section 1222G of the ordinance, which was just put into place last year, which is basically if you have an issue where you believe the city has discriminated in their practices, you're to bring it to the chair of the commission, acting as chair. I took that report, and then we are supposed to handle it, but we have not developed a procedure for doing that yet. I think the best course of action here is for 2 of us to get together with Carla and start to develop that plan, just using Carla by way of, doing the staffing for this. But since we do need to handle this in a timely manner, I'd like to, have someone get going on that. I invite either one of our 2 new officers to participate in that, or any of you, and I'm glad to participate in that as well. But of course, given Open Meetings Act rules, it can only be 2 of us who can meet separately. So if you have interest, I don't need to put you on the spot right now like a former favorite chair of mine used to do and just assign people from the floor, but I'm happy to chat afterwards. If you're interested in volunteering, we can talk about that and get that set up. Any other announcements? All right, with that, that is the conclusion of our agenda, and I will declare the meeting adjourned. Thank you all.